Hi guys, it's great to be with you again. I hope you're all in your party gear. I've got my party hat on, I've got my party poppers, I'm ready. But you're probably wondering why we asked you to get all dressed up, right? Well, it's because today's bit from the Bible is all about a party. Parties are great, aren't they? Think back to the best party that you can remember. Maybe it was a birthday party, a wedding, or some other celebration. Maybe there was music and dancing, and you got to stay up late. Or maybe you got to go somewhere really special, a place you'd been wanting to go for ages. Maybe you were just at home, but you remember the good times you had with your friends and family. Whatever kind of party you're thinking about, I bet you can remember how fun it was and how much you enjoyed yourself. And in our bit from the Bible for today, we're going to hear a story that Jesus told about a very special party. While Jesus was on earth, he often told stories to help us understand things about God's kingdom. One day, Jesus was round at a really important religious leader's house, having dinner, and he told them, the people there, a story. It was all about a man who was throwing a huge party. There was lots to get ready, the venue, the food, and most importantly, people to come. The man invited lots and lots of people. Finally, everything was ready. This party was going to be amazing. The man sent one of his servants to tell all the people who'd been invited that everything was ready and they should come. But one by one, the guests all started making excuses about why they couldn't come. One person said, "Sorry, I can't come. I've just bought a field and I need to go and see it." Another person said, "Sorry, I've just bought 5 pairs of oxen and I'm off to try them out." And another person said, "I've just got married, so I can't come." The servant went round everyone who'd been invited, but all of them made an excuse and said they couldn't come. So the servant returned to his master and told him what had happened. No one was coming. They'd all made excuses and said no to the invitation. Understandably, the man was upset and angry. He'd got this amazing party ready and no one was going to enjoy it. The man didn't want everything he'd prepared to go to waste. So he said to his servant, "Go out quickly into the streets and alleys of the town and bring in the poor, the crippled, the blind and the lame." So the servant went and did as his master asked. He brought as many people as he could find into the party, but there was still room. He went back to his master and said, "Sir, what you ordered has been done, but there is still room." So the man said, "Go out to the roads and country lanes and compel them to come in, so that my house will be full. I tell you, not one of those who were invited will get a taste of my banquet." So the servant went out again and brought even more people to the party, and he kept going until his master's house was full up. And all the people who'd been invited but said no missed out on a great party. So that was Jesus' story, and through it, he wants to tell us something really important about God's kingdom. See, the man in the story who is throwing the big party is like God. The Bible tells us that God has prepared a special place for his people, just like how someone gets a party ready. But the place that God has prepared is going to be so much better and more amazing than we could ever imagine. There's never going to be anything that makes us sad or worried. And best of all, God will be there. And we'll get to enjoy being with him for forever. Sounds like a pretty amazing party, doesn't it? And the even better news is that this isn't some exclusive VIP party where only a few select people get to go. We're all invited. When Jesus died on the cross, he died for everyone, so that we could all be invited to be part of God's kingdom. But the thing about an invitation is that we have to decide whether we're going to say yes or no. It's like what happened in Jesus' story. All the people who were invited at first said no. They all made excuses about why they couldn't go to the party. And it's like that with us too. We often make all kinds of excuses about choosing to ignore Jesus. Maybe you think, I'm too young. I'm just too young to think about this right now. I'll decide when I'm older. Or maybe it's that other stuff is more important. I want to do really well in school, or be the best in my sports team, or have loads of friends. Those things are more important than following Jesus. Or maybe you're worried about what your friends will think of you if you decide to follow Jesus. Or maybe it's actually that you don't think you need Jesus. You're doing just fine without him. Whether it's one of these things or something else, we can all be like those guests who said no and make excuses about why we shouldn't follow Jesus. But just like how those guests missed out on going to the party, if we make excuses and say no to Jesus, then we'll miss out on something even better, being forgiven and getting to be a part of God's kingdom. So, what about you? Will you accept all that Jesus has done for you and follow him, or will you say no and ignore him? Let me pray. Dear God, thank you that because of what Jesus has done for us on the cross, we are all invited to be forgiven and part of your kingdom. Please help us to say yes. Amen.